vinegar, mustard, turmeric, spices, herbs. It's going to be part of the Piccalilli. There's all the bits and pieces: cauliflower, cucumber, capsicum, chilli. Most of that bar the cauliflower come out of the garden. Making Piccalilli. Okay, I'm making Piccalilli, which is mainly my garden produce, but I did buy cauliflower. There's cucumber, capsicum, chilli, beans, some little pearl onions, and I've made up with vinegar a brew which will actually make it the Piccalilli. In there is some spices, some herbs, sugar, like I say, white vinegar, and to thicken it I've used a little bit of corn flour, and also there is turmeric in there. That's the colour you're seeing, along with the mustard. I put in some mustard as well. So I'm going to heat this up. I'm going to drain these now because these have been sitting in brine for about 3 hours. That's enough as far as I'm concerned. Some people say do it overnight. I'm just going to do it for 3 hours. Just clean them up and then come back and put them in. What I'm doing now is pouring these into a colander so I can rinse them off, because you don't want all that salt that's in there in the actual jar, because they'll be far too salty. So just going to rinse these off probably for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll go back over and put them in the container where all that lovely juice is ready to make them into Piccalilli. Back over to the stove. Like I say, to make this there was white vinegar, and then I've used mustard and turmeric, sugar, spices and herbs, black peppercorns, coriander seed. It's a blend that me and my daughter made up last week when we made our bread and butter pickles. I'm just reheating this now. I made this about an hour ago, but I'm reheating it now. It's quite thick. You can tell it's going to be perfect for when I put all these veggies in. Now here are the vegetables. Now in amongst them, most of the stuff's out of the garden. There's cucumber, chilli, capsicum. I put in some cauliflower that I bought and cut into tiny little florets. Pretty easy to do. I've got some celery in there. I've also got some green beans chopped up in there as well. So it's a mixture of vegetables that going into this. And this is nearly where I want it to be. Can you see the little bubble starting to form? That's what we want. So we'll start putting the veggies in. I don't think I'll fit them all in with one hit, but we'll see. Let's put these in, maybe. Might be a tight fit, but we'll see. It's about 3/4 of them. And now you can start to see how this becomes Piccalilli. Might be pushing my luck, but I'm going to put them all in. Let's see how we go. We can only spill over. So all I'm going to do, the heat's on still, and I'm just going to heat these through. You don't want to overheat these because they've been pickling in a brine for a while, and what I want is just the heat to go through the vegetables, still to be al dente for when you put them in the jar. But anyone who's ever had Piccalilli before, you'll probably see that's the colour. And you can put whatever vegetables you like in there. I've used what I've had in the garden, plus I bought a cauliflower. So I'm not wasting any produce out of the garden. If I can't eat it fresh, I'm going to preserve it, and this way is Piccalilli. So let me keep doing this for about 5 minutes, just gently stirring it while it warms through, and then I'm going to jar it. All right, we're getting close. I've been doing this for about 2-3 minutes, just kept stirring it while I'm heating it. Again, you've got to be very careful, don't overcook it, because it will be soggy and soppy and yuck. I just want a bit of heat in it, so when I put it in the jars, which have been sterilised. Okay, so these jars are ready to go. I've got 4 ready. I've got another 2 if I have to, but I think I get about 4, maybe 4 and a bit. We'll see how it turns out. All right, another minute or 2 of this, and I will put them in the bottle. All right, I'm going to use a little jug to fill up. It's a lot easier than trying to put it straight into the jar. It can be a nightmare sometimes, actually. So I'll just start with this first one. And we shall start filling up the jar. It smells great. I've tasted it. It's sweet, it's sour. There's no real heat. Those chilies I put in are fairly mild, but the mustard gives it a bit of kick. Look, this really only comes into fruition after about 3 or 4 weeks. You could have, basically, I suppose, have it tomorrow if you wanted to, but I've made Piccalilli before, and it really is a case of just let it have 3 or 4 weeks. And why am I doing it now? Well, in about 3 or 4 weeks, it's Christmas. It looks pretty good. Just give it a bit of a tappy tappy, shaky shaky. Maybe just a touch more. Looks good. Let's just wipe that edge. Let's try and make sure that your jars are really clean. So that's what it looks like at the moment. And to put the lid on. And there is some Piccalilli. I know some people think it's hard to do things like this, but it's not really. And after you've done a few things, you end up knowing how to do most of the other pickling. So that is Piccalilli. If you have been, thanks for watching.